Today, I will recap the movie Black Adam for you. The film begins in a period that dates 5,000 years ago, where we see a ruthless king in power over there. This city was once free, but now the majority of them have been enslaved by this ruthless king. Additionally, this king ordered the digging of the land by all of his people, because he was looking for a stone that could provide him with magical abilities. Furthermore, he may become even more dangerous and powerful as a result of that material. And instead of ruling this city, he could rule the entire world. This stone, called Eternium, will give him the ability to make the magical crown and give him superhuman abilities. Later, as per routine, laborers are digging, and eventually one of them finds the material, Eternium, that the ruthless king has acquired. Meanwhile, he creates the crown, which is going to enhance his powers after wearing it. During this, we see a young boy who stands against the ruthless king, and he tries to convince the villagers that they should rise up against the tyranny rather than bow down to him. After that, when the king learns that he has gone against him, he orders them to kill him. Meanwhile, when the boy was about to be killed, he immediately disappeared from there and came to a place where wizard and gods were sitting. Later, these 6 gods tell the young boy that you dared what we liked very much, so we are going to give you such power that after saying one word Shazam, you'll get our powers. As a result, you will easily defeat the ruthless king, and the boy does this too. He speaks the word Shazam and becomes very powerful. Instantly, he came to the king's palace where the king was going to wear his evil crown, which would give him power. On the other hand, the young boy who has gained all his powers comes there and creates havoc and starts killing. Additionally, he was quite angry that he killed other people too, along with the king. In the next scene, the story goes on for 5,000 years, in the present where we see the same city again. A gang has completely captured this city, they're oppressing the people, and they're looting and have completely controlled the people of the city. Actually, the purpose of this gang is to find the crown, and this is the same crown that the ruthless king made 5,000 years ago. The king had died, but the same crown was buried somewhere in the same city. Later, we see a lady named Adriana, who was searching for this crown, and she is an expert at finding ancient things because she is an archaeologist. Basically, archaeologists are the people who dig the ground and have a lot of knowledge about history. After a while, Adriana goes into a cave, and finally, she is able to find it after great efforts. Meanwhile, Adriana and her companions are happy with this, and we learn that a member of her team named Ishmael is with the gang that is controlling the city. Meanwhile, Ishmael kills one of his companions and invites the rest of his gang members to the same cave. Later, they point out the gun at Adriana and ask her to give them the crown. As she looks down, a few words were written there, and she begins to read them and says Shazam. After saying this word, Black Adam comes there and begins to kill all the looters, and no one survives there. Whereas talking about Ishmael, who was with the gang, acts as if he is dead, so his life is saved there. On the other hand, Adriana has made Adam alive again and awakened him. For this reason, he doesn't harm her. Meanwhile, a few people arrive when Adam is already there and attacks him with a special weapon. This weapon was made up of the same Eternium. The same material from the crown was also made. Later, as the weapon hits Black Adam, he feels pain, and in return, Black Adam also kills the gangster who attacked him. But because of being hit by the same missile, he also becomes unconscious. At this point, we learn that Eternium is a material that is the weakness of Black Adam, and he could be killed with this material as well. As Adriana notices this, she becomes quite worried and brings Black Adam to her home. Later, when Black Adam eventually comes to his senses, Adriana's son tells him that you've been imprisoned in the cave for the past 5,000 years. Our city is now leading a life of slaves, and the gang is preventing us from living in peace, and you have come here to help as a healer. After listening to this, Black Adam doesn't bother about this. He tells him that this was my city 5,000 years ago. Now, everything has changed there, so I'm not responsible for saving this city. Further, he says that I've no concerns about this city and its people. Saying this, he comes out of the house and begins to observe and visit the city. Later, we see a female leader whose job is to stop the superheroes and supervillains who are a threat to humanity. Additionally, she has to maintain such situations so that the people of the world don't face any difficulty and the earth also remains unharmed. At this time, she is talking to a superhero, Hawkman, and tells him that Black Adam has returned, and if he hadn't stopped, he could have spread destruction just like before. Further, if he gets furious, then it is almost impossible to stop him. Later, Hawkman agrees to this, and he gathers his team, which includes many other superheroes, and they all depart to capture Black Adam. On the other side, the people of the gang have reached Adriana's house because they know that she still has that crown, so they went to take that crown. After that, as they were about to attack her family, Black Adam comes there and saves them, and once more he kills them. While he is fighting with a few surviving members, Hawkman's team arrives there. As a result, they all begin to fight with Black Adam together, but he is still dominating them. The people of the gang and the Justice Society team together and are unable to fight with him. Finally, Black Adam goes from there, and the team of the Justice Society that is made by Hawkman comes to Adriana and asks her for help in capturing Black Adam. After hearing this, Adriana responds, "Where were you when we were the target of tyranny? I've never seen you before, but Black Adam is the one who has saved us. Additionally, he saved my life when I was about to die, and the members of the Justice Society inform her that the person you think of as your protector is actually quite dangerous, and he destroyed our city 5,000 years ago." They finally persuaded Adriana. For this reason, Adriana takes everyone to the Black Adam, where they all sit quietly and engage in conversation and can hear each other's viewpoints and resolve their conflict. On the other side, Ishmael, Adriana's companion, enters her house so he can find the crown and can use it for his own gains. But when he doesn't find the crown, he takes Adriana's son angrily with him. Later, Adriana's son cleverly calls his mom and tells her everything that I've been kidnapped, and Ishmael has kidnapped me. After hearing this, she becomes quite worried, so she asks the team of the Justice Society and Black Adam to help her with bringing her son back. They both agree and begin to find her son. Meanwhile, Hawkman captures 2 people from that gang, and after beating them, he learns where Ishmael is. Actually, Ishmael has kept her son in a secret place that is in a desert. As the team of Justice Society and Black Adam go there, they see Ishmael has pointed a gun at Adriana's son. Moreover, he tells them a secret that I'm the leader of the gang that is spreading destruction in the whole city, and all the gangsters are working for me. For this reason, he tells Ariana to give him the crown if she wants to save her son's life, and after hearing this, the worried mother gives him the crown. Despite this, he shoots Adriana's son, and as Black Adam sees this, he comes in front of him after running at a fast speed and saves him, and ends Ishmael's life by lighting him on fire. Later, Black Adam meets Hawkman and tells him a big secret, and tells him that 5,000 years ago, the one who raised his voice against the ruthless king was my son, not me, and when the king was about to kill him, he disappeared from there. After seeing this, the king became furious because he couldn't find him, so he captured me and my family and beat us a lot. We were being beaten in such a terrible way that no one treats animals like that. In the meantime, my wife was killed and I was also about to die. Later, my son came to me who has a lot of powers, and he transferred all of his powers to me, which meant all of his powers had come to me. At the same time, the people of the cruel king attacked us again. As a result, I survived because of having many powers, but my son died in front of my eyes. After seeing my son die, I got furious and I killed the king and his people. But the powers became uncontrolled and I couldn't control them. So I destroyed the whole city even against my will. Later, Wizard and Gods became furious that I've misused my powers and I've not controlled my powers. For this reason, they've locked me in that cave, and I remained in that cave for thousands of years. I was reborn when Adriana came and took the name of Shazam. Later, Black Adam regrets that I've been responsible for a lot of destruction in the past, and that there is still a lot of destruction now. Many people have been killed. He continues by saying to Hawkman that I want to surrender, and after ending all of my powers, so nobody can be harmed because of me. Later, Black Adam says the word Shazam, and he returns to his normal shape, a normal human being who doesn't have any superpowers. Also, he asked them to do something so that he couldn't say the word Shazam again. Finally, Black Adam is sent into the water where a device is put into his mouth, so he cannot speak, and this was a small jail in which Adam was locked. On the other hand, we see Ishmael, who was dead and has now arrived in hell. From the start, he was already aware that he would need to grasp the crown in his hands if he wanted to access the power of that crown. Along with this, he should also be killed immediately so that he dies and enters hell, and he can also interact with the demon of hell here and gain power from him. This was all already known to Ishmael from the beginning. For this reason, he provoked Black Adam by saying that if I kill Adriana's son, he would come and kill me in order to save him. The crown was also in his hand at the same time, and his plan succeeded. Later, Ishmael encounters the devils of hell here, who give him their powers, and he was not like that previously. He has become a Sabbak. Along with these powers, he enters this world, and he immediately begins destroying everything. As soon as the Justice Society learns about him, They approach him and fight with him. There's a lot of fighting going on, and Sabbak was quite powerful. Despite doing everything they could, the Justice Society team was unable to stop him. Meanwhile, Dr. Fate, another team member of the Justice Society, appears in many forms and tries to kill Sabbak with different powers, but he is unsuccessful. Eventually, everyone realizes that only Black Adam is capable of defeating Sabbak. For this reason, they begin to talk to Black Adam through telepathy and tell him that we need your help along with this. They help him a lot from here so that Adam can free himself. After coming out from there, he kills many of the soldiers there, and as soon as he exits the water, he immediately says Shazam, which grants him access to Black Adam's powers. Later, he instantly begins to go to Sabbak without wasting any time. On the other hand, the people of the Justice Society are still fighting with Sabbak, and during this time, one of their fellow Dr. Fate is killed there. Moreover, Hawkman is also fighting a lot with Sabbak, but his efforts remain unsuccessful. But a good thing begins to happen when Black Adam comes there in the meantime. Now Black Adam and Sabbak fight a lot. Apparently, this was a fight of an equal level, but as time passed, it seemed that only Black Adam can defeat Sabbak. After holding the head of Sabbak, Black Adam splits its head into two parts, and after tearing it completely, he finally kills Sabbak. For this reason, Sabbak dies and all bad things return to peace. Everything starts to get better. Later, the people of the city begin to consider Black Adam as their messiah, and they all confess that Black Adam has saved us and our city. Later, we see the lady who has created the Justice Society team. She tells Black Adam, "All right, do whatever you want, but don't leave this city. You may become the guardian of the people of this city. Take care of them, and I don't care, but don't leave this city." She further warns him that if you come out of this city, it won't be good for you. After hearing this, Black Adam sits and looks at her and says that no one can rule me, and he will do anything whenever he wants to do anything. Meanwhile, the lady says, "Yes, probably you are right. No one can stop you from living in this world, but I know someone who is not from our world." Later, Black Adam gets furious and breaks the screen with which the lady was talking. As the screen breaks, smoke spreads all around, and that's when Superman emerges through it. Additionally, he tells Black Adam that we should sit and have a polite discussion. Finally, the story of this film stops here when Superman says this.